Welcome to the findingyourchurch.com walkthrough of how you can get a blog started for your church. And so even though it is a blog and it's using WordPress, this can also eventually become your main church website. And you could already have things in place with WordPress to be able to do this. And you can do this part yourself. You may not be able to turn the blog or the WordPress site into the actual church website to where it looks like you want it to look, but you can go ahead and get the website hosting. You can go ahead and install WordPress. You can go ahead and get a blog operating on the site and already be putting content on there. And potentially with a little more training, you could also even start a podcast for your church based on this blog. But initially, you could just start blogging, and so you could start putting out posts of maybe recaps of past events, put videos on there, put articles from the pastoral staff or from volunteers, put a volunteer of the month, whatever you want to do. But if you already have a website, even if you're planning on changing the website, a great strategy is to go ahead and get a blog working on another install of a website, which is the WordPress site, and then you're already adding content to it, already putting things in place so that when you do turn that into your main church website, you've already got all that content on there, and all you're basically doing is adding, kind of the face of it at that point. And so even if you are not skilled enough to take that WordPress install that's a blog and turn it into more of a traditional looking website, you could hire somebody to do that part of it later. But what I'm going to show you how to do is to install WordPress, get the website hosting operational, and begin posting content on there. And so it really doesn't matter at first what theme design you use. It's not going to matter as much how it looks. Just make it look clean and simple and just start putting content on there, and then that gives you more things to be able to post onto Facebook, Twitter, and some of your other different social media areas. Put it in email, and then you're publishing additional content even if you don't have the full-blown website up already, so it's still valuable. And so the first step that you're going to need to do is get website hosting, and I use this website host, and I'll be honest, I do receive a small commission when you use this website hosting, but it does not cost you any more whether you use my link or whether you don't. And there are plenty of other options out there that you can do. If you like some other website host, go for that. This is just the one that I use and that I recommend. And so if you go to findingyourchurch.com/website hosting, I've set up a deal for you there to make this easier for you. And so I realize this is just a simple page that I've set up here, that I'm going to give you free church WordPress installation. So for churches, I'm going to give you free WordPress installation when you use my link, and I'll be able to tell if you use my link or not. And it's because I get that commission, that small commission that doesn't cost you any more whether you use this link or don't use this link. That's why I'm able to offer this for you. So I can take that part off your hands, and I will say that even if you want to do it on your own, it really is an easy process, and I'm going to show you how to do that and where to do that here in a second. So if you don't want to wait on me, and you don't have to take advantage of me installing WordPress for you, but it's available for you in case you get stuck or you get into trouble. And so what you're going to want to do is go to findingyourchurch.com/website hosting, and there will be a link right here, unlimited website hosting. This $5.95 thing, it varies. That's not the exact price, and I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. But so basically, it's step one is you click the graphic and you purchase the website hosting. Then step two is you email me, Jeremy Phillips, at getfound@findingyourchurch.com if you want the free WordPress installation, and I'll verify that you purchased through my link, and then I will get your install up and running for you. And so you'll simply click the link, and that will take you to my recommended website hosting. And remember, it doesn't matter necessarily if you use that link. That just helps me out, but then I'll help you out as well and give you free installation. And you know what? If you have any questions during the process, shoot me a question, and I'd be happy to help you with that. As far as just during the installation process if you didn't want to use me. So initially you just land at this page, and again this price is not the exact price, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. So this can be confusing, but that's why we're doing this video, so that I can explain that to you. And so basically when you click right here, I've already got this pulled open, when you click there, that's going to pull up the options for you to choose from as far as a website hosting plan. And you have all of these things that are included, but just at different levels. And so the one that I recommend is this Plus version. And I recommend it not, I don't make anything additional. I don't make any additional commission or anything like that no matter what you choose. But the reason that I like this one is, number one, websites that you can use with this hosting account. And by the way, if you don't know what website hosting is, it's just simply kind of like an online hard drive where you can store your files for your website that make it all work. And then it also lets that domain name that you choose, your website address, points to that hard drive online, and that's how it knows where to pull those files from. And so that's all website hosting really is. And so, but this version lets you put more than one website on that hosting account. And so if you wanted to have a youth website, if you wanted to have your main website, if you wanted to have an Easter website, if you wanted to have multiple ones in the future, you would simply create another install of WordPress on this. But this version is not going to allow you to do that. This version, the Plus option, is what's going to allow you to do that. And so it also has a little bit of spam control if you're using email, and you get unlimited emails. So when you switch over to your full website, all of your emails will be here. It's not unlimited website space, it's unmetered. So in other words, if you use a lot, you're not going to get charged more. It's just going to be the same price. And they're very generous on that. I will say, if you're going to do a podcast, you're probably not going to want to store your podcast files on here. You want to use something like Amazon S3 to store those, and that's extremely, extremely cheap, like pennies almost a month to do that. But all of your website files, you're going to be more than fine with this package. And so they also give you in any of these, they give you one free domain name. And so if you have something that you're wanting to try, or you need a new church website name, or you're wanting to switch over and kind of change the name to something shorter, or whatever you're wanting to do, they're going to give you a free domain name for a year. And so that kind of offsets some of your cost as well. And so after you click select, that's going to take you to the place where you choose a domain name. And so you can say you already have one, and you can completely skip getting this free domain name, because after you use the domain name, the next year you're going to have to pay $15 a year or $16 a year or whatever. It's just the first year that's free, so you may want to skip that altogether. Or if you're wanting to check and see if it's available, you can see if this is available, and I know that this is available, and so I would click next if I was wanting to get a new one, and it would check. And so if it's not available, then it's going to let you know, and you can pick something different and just move some words around or whatever. So after you do that, you simply create your account. This is not a complicated process. So you just put in your church contact information, your information, and here's where I really want to focus in on that can be confusing. Is they say it's a monthly charge, so like $4.95 a month was what was put on the page. That's if you purchase 3 years worth of website hosting, and so it's kind of goes down in price the longer that you decide to stick with them. And so that's up to you. I mean, sometimes like a 2-year, that's where that $5.95 came from. Way back over here, $5.95 is when you purchase 24 months. And so it's kind of helpful because you don't have to worry about renewing in a year. But if you're undecided as to how long you want to do it, you may just want to do this. And I will say this too, like here's how they bill it. They don't bill it as a monthly charge, so you're not going to have this little tiny monthly thing coming out of your credit card for your church. They do it 12 months at a time. So they just break it down here. It's kind of a marketing thing, but they break it down here. And so that's what it would be if you did this, and then you can go down, and it adds up, but it's actually because it's 2 years worth. And so it goes down in monthly price. You're actually saving money, but you just pay it all at one time. And the benefit of that is you don't have to worry about it. You're just paying once a year, and which I kind of like better. So then you've got these other things. Domain privacy protection is not something you have to buy, but it's something that is optional, and it keeps all of your personal information a secret online, because whatever name, address, and phone number you put in connection to this is available online. And for a church, when all that contact information is already out there and already available, I don't really know how much that helps. It's not going to put your credit card information out there. It's just your contact information. So you probably don't need that. Site Backup Pro you probably don't need, but you can have that. Security is something that you may want to consider once you take it to the next level with your website. But I have an option that I would rather you use instead of this. I've used this before, but there's a better option out there. So I would just uncheck all of these for now, and then you're just paying this price. And so you basically complete the purchase, click submit, and it sets you up an account, and you're going to get emailed your login and that kind of thing. And so then what you're going to do to set up your WordPress site, now remember, I will install this for you if I can verify that you purchased through my link. So you could just email me and I can handle this. But if you don't want to worry about that and you would rather have, just do it as soon as you get access to it, because you're going to have access nearly immediately, then you can just, this is the cPanel part when you log into your Bluehost, and all the login instructions will be in your email when you receive that. So you'll just go to the website section and you'll click Install WordPress. And actually I already have it up. So when you click install WordPress, do it yourself, and you click install. And these are just some of my domains, so I'm not going to take you through the exact process, but basically you're only going to have one option because you only have one domain name is connected to it. So here's a little bonus information. Basically you would just pull up that domain name and click check domain, and then it'll start taking you through the process of installing WordPress, and you'll pick a username, password, stuff like that. It's not going to be that complicated. And when you're done filling that information, it'll say something like set up WordPress or whatever it says, and then you'll have that installation. It'll give you the information for how to log in. But you can also set it up on a directory. So if you didn't want it set up on the main website name, you could do /youth or /whatever, so that when you went to that domain name, yourchurchname.com/youth, then you would see it there instead of on the main site. And so that's how you can have one install on the main website, and then add one for like Easter or youth or something else. So you basically just click check domain, and it'll walk you through that process. And I do want to say this, that going back here to the account, if we go backwards, that I typically go all the way to the bottom, seems to be a easier way, is live chat right here. This has saved my life so many times, and this is one of the reasons that I recommend this company, is because they have live chat. They're very responsive, and you can just ask them anything you want. So if you have any issues with the installation process, I promise you, I get on live chat way more probably than I should, and just have them sometimes they'll just set up something for you or whatever, and you may even be able to ask them to do that. I don't know what they'll say, but you may be like, I'm having trouble setting up WordPress, can you do this for me? And they may just do it for you. They're an excellent company with the chat, and I would recommend using that as much as you need it. And you just scroll down to the bottom of your login and your page and click live chat, and they will help you out, I promise you. And so after you have that WordPress installation set up, I've already set up one, and right here on a thing that I've called Nearly Free, and I actually did a tutorial, a PDF tutorial about how to set this up, and you can find that at findingyourchurch.com as well. But we're kind of jumping over that, and you don't really need to do that if you're watching this video, because we're already taking care of that. So this is how like the basic blog would look if you just set it up right out of the box, and that's with the basic theme design that comes with it. And obviously this is not what you want, even though when you post some information here it will look a little bit better. So I'm going to walk you through in more videos how to customize it more, but for now you basically, when you're wanting to log in, and it'll give you this information, but all you do, so mine here again, it's on a subdirectory because I've already got my main site. But if it was my main site, if I wanted to log in, I would just add this to that name, and I would click enter and it would let me enter my username and password. But since it's nearly free, I have to also add that to it as well. And so that takes me, since I'm already logged in, it takes me to the dashboard. If I wouldn't have been logged in, it would say username and password. So this is what the back side of WordPress looks like. And so you're not going to be concerned with everything over here. All you're really probably concerned about is going to be how to change the theme, which is right here, and then adding some posts and adding some content at first. And so let's look really quickly at how to change the theme. And so you can use one of these basic WordPress themes, but they are extremely basic, or you can click add a new theme. And all of these themes for free are available. Now they have a lot of paid themes available. You can go to themeforest.net among many other places and pay for them and install them yourself. Even Upload Theme, you can upload the theme files there and use a paid one. But for these purposes, you can simply pick from one of these theme designs, and then you just kind of have to work around, you know, figuring out how do you change that graphic, you know, for instance, and how do you do that. So I'm just going to click around just for a second and kind of look at some popular themes. This is evidently the latest WordPress theme. This one here is kind of like one of those one-page style scrolling responsive type themes. It's maybe a little harder to set up, but it is a good option if you're wanting to do something, and it's a little slow loading, but what if you're wanting to do something that responsively resizes for all devices? And probably most of these will do that, but this one looks very nice once it loads. It looks very nice. And so what we're just going to do is, just for the sake of doing this, I'm going to install 2016 just to change it around a little bit, because what we're not covering right here is how to upload graphics and stuff. So you'll just activate the theme, and that, when you click activate, that switches it over to the new theme. And so now when we open up that, it just looks a little cleaner, a little different. And so what we're going to do, and we can change all of this information, and I'm going to show you how to do that in later videos, but I'm just trying to get you up and posting. And so you'll just go make a new post. You go here to posts, add a new post, and we're just going to say something simple like welcome to the new church blog. And that's one just kind of addition. We created a church blog at my church recently, and we didn't want to name it church blog, so we named it, we kind of tried to come up with a creative name so that it wasn't, you know, just blog. And if you like that blog, that name, and that identifies with your group, and that people understand that, then that's great. But you know, we called it the Insider, or you know, something like that. And so you just come up with a creative name. It doesn't have to be blog. So we're just going to put welcome church blog. And this is one thing, if you go visual or text allows you to put in code, and so it allows you to put in you know, code like putting in a YouTube video or something like that. And so visual is more basic, but text, if you know any HTML, and you can also use these things up here, just like on visual, you can use these things here to help you, just kind of like a Word program. But text lets you put in actual code, so like embed a YouTube video or something like that. So we're just going to put so this is not going to be used for anything other than this. And then you can also click Add Media, and when you add media, you can upload files. So you select a file from anywhere on your computer, and you could add a picture to that post as well. And we're not going to do that because I'm not going to search through all my pictures trying to find something for this. But it's just very simple. You just pick a picture off of your desktop or something, and you can put that directly into the post just by that Add Media link, and then that's also there for the future. So we're going to click Publish, and that will go directly on the front page. And so when you're just setting up a blog, then when you click View Post, then that information is right here. And so for a blog, you could even use this theme design and not even worry about trying to find one of more complicated ones. And then eventually, hire somebody or, play around with it and get a more complicated theme in the future. So that's it. So what I want you to do is go back to this site right here, and this may look a little different depending on where I direct it, but there will always be something with this link here for website hosting. And so it's findingyourchurch.com/website hosting, and get the process started. Get your church blog started today.